I think right now 35% of all hotel rooms in Ireland are taken up by migrants.
Wow.
Yeah, but in this country, I think the last 20 years has seen the same amount of immigration as the 2,000 years before that.
Yes.
In 20 years, since Tony Blair, basically.
Gentlemen, do you think that this axis, Russia, Iran and China, are facilitating this, making it worse on purpose?
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Why don't we throw that...
Roger, that's Rogers, yeah.
Throw that straight over to Dr. Roger Gewolb, who's in the studio.
Yeah, I think, Phil, that probably is a factor. At the very least, I think they are not discouraging it. Their wish, Vladimir Putin's wish, is to restore Russia, Mother Russia, to its former glory.
He's threatened mass immigration to the West as well, hasn't he?
Two things, Ash. I mean, he first of all wants to restore Mother Russia to her former glory, which is fine as long as it doesn't turn imperialist.
Well, just one sentence, very quickly. A lot of the reasons why places like Ukraine are so unwilling to do a deal with the Kremlin is the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
The behaviour of the Soviet Union was so bad that they've ruined it in terms of that happening by consent.
You just have to visit countries of the former Soviet Union. I mean, I was in Azerbaijan a couple of years ago, which is the most marvelous place with the most magnificent people. Everything about it is beautiful. I had the time of my life there. But, you know, it still feels like being in Russia in many places.
What, the corruption? What do you mean?
I mean babushkas sitting at the end in booths of the bus station and Russian officials.
Still like the communist eras there.
It's like walking around St. Petersburg,
But what does Putin want? Does he want to be the Stalin?
Putin wants to restore... Russians have always...
Does he want to be Tsar or does he want to be a Stalin or what does he...
Russians have always wanted a strong leader, a Tsar, okay? So he wants to continue for the next, I imagine, 10, 15 years to be their strong leader and restore Mother Russia to her former glory.
But do Russians do Russians not worry about the level of theft and corruption of this man?
But he also has joined with the Axis partners, guys, to destroy the, quote, satanic, unquote, values of the West.
Well, now China's the stronger brother. It used to be the weaker one. Now China's the big daddy.
That's where Iran and the Ayatollahs and China and Yemen and North Korea come in. And so to answer the original question that Phil asked, certainly part of this is to drown us in the wrong kind of immigrants.
And by the way, Viscount Monckton, and I'll go back to Phil now, Viscount Monckton believes that the person funding all of the woke stuff, all of the transsexualism, is Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin, because he can always say, well, I'm bloody corrupt, but look at them over there. You don't want to be like the West.
And the West is destroying itself.
The French Ministry of Finance several months ago announced that it had uncovered Russian agents as the agent provocateur of the anti-Semitic demonstrations and marches in Paris.
Wow.
They do everything to destabilise. I mean, we saw today China with the stamps. It's like state economic terrorism. They're printing stamps.
It's cyber terrorism. It's all kinds of tricks. It's everything you can think of coming from the Axis.
Well, Phil...
We are undefended. Our Army and Navy and Air Force...
Who's in charge of the Axis? Is it China or is it Putin? Is it Putin who shall...
It's, it's a wonderful question. It's Putin, but he's, so in debt to China that he better not make the wrong move.